All right. Well, welcome back. So yesterday, I take my boy out fishing, baptize his new kayak. Just got him a new kayak. And forgot to do something. So we had a nice day. It was real windy out on Klamath Lake. But I took him to sort of a protected area called Rocky Point. And we were coming back into the ramp. The sheriff was there. Now, it happens to be an old friend of mine or acquaintance of mine. The sheriff was the same sheriff that rescued me out on Upper Klamath Lake. And his name's Darren. And if you look at my video called Deliverance, because he was my deliverer that day. Anyway, so we get there and he's doing sort of safety inspection, making sure we have life vests and things like that. Whistle, flashlight, things like that. Those are required. What I forgot to do is to get what's called a waterway access permit. Right there. On his kayak. Mind you, it's a $260 fine or something like that. And but Darren was really cool. He let me off with a warning. Came home, of course, and got a waterway access permit. Anything 10 feet or above, non-motorized, has to have that. They don't cost much. I mean, $15 a year. It was a 2-year for $30, so no big deal. But yeah, so my son, he's breaking, unloading all the 2 kayaks, and I'm trying to schmooze. I don't want the fine, but he let us off with a warning, which is really cool. So in Oregon, you have to have a waterways access permit and anything 10 feet or above and non-motorized. If you have a 9.5 footer, you don't need it, which, by the way, exist. No big deal, though. No big deal. So what I'll do is I'll put this in a baggie, fold it up, and tape it to the inside of the lid of his hatch. And it'll always be with the kayak, so no big deal. But that was, actually my second run-in with Darren. Super cool guy. I mean, it was, the Upper Klamath Lake was really, really kicked up yesterday. I mean, there were some big waves that would easily overturn and capsize boats. I mean, the lake is huge. I mean, like I told you guys, 25 miles long, 8 miles wide, average depth 8 feet. So when it's windy, that lake just gets kicked up, and wave after wave after wave. I mean, there were some guys out there on the main lake, the open, where it was really bad, in 12-footers. I mean, 12-foot boats. I mean, that's why Darren, he was just watching these guys, just thinking he was going to have to launch and go out there and save their rears. But yeah, I had no idea when I moved here that Klamath Lake could become a torrent, a tsunami of waves, and I was caught in it one day. It was so placid at one point, and then all of a sudden the wind started, and it just became a mess. I had to call 911, and he's super fast. So it's great to, in this area that we only have 2 sheriffs that work the waterways. And they got to work all the waterways, not just the Klamath Lake, but all the rivers and the lakes and stuff like that. But in Oregon, you get this. You got to get this. Now, if I had this with me, it would have given me a sticker, and I would have just stuck it on, my kayak. But we're just going to put this on the inside of the hatch. And this way, if he's asked for it, or we're asked for it ever again, we could just open the hatch, pull it out. And now you could take a photocopy, a copy of it on your phone or something like that. But my phone battery dies all the time, so a lot of good that would do. But just keep it in a bag, on the inside of the hatch. Tape it to the inside of the hatch, and be done with it. So that's good for 2 years, till the end of 2022. So voila, we can be legal again. So anyway, his kayak works pretty good. I just bought a cheapie, and it's a Tamrac. In fact, I need to do a video on that. I'm going to do a video on it. It's a lifetime Tamrac. It's 10-footer. And he's 6'3" or so, 6'3", 6'4", my 16-year-old. And he fit fine in it. He said it got wet, but it wasn't coming through the scuppers. I think it was the way he was paddling, or even the turbulence of the lake. He was getting wet. But I also bought him a stadium seat on it. So because the seat that comes with it is lousy, so we basically just strapped down a stadium seat on it. And this way, he even has armrests on his stadium seat, but it has lots of pockets. I mean, tons of pockets. It was a great little seat. And of course, an anchor. Got to have an anchor. So I always say that's the first thing to buy with a kayak is an anchor besides a paddle, which I bought him a paddle. Overall, if you look at my video on additional costs of a kayak, you'll see that it can rack up pretty quick. Even a $300 kayak, you could easily get into, double or triple its cost. But anyway, he had a nice time with it. It's got 3 rod holders, 2 flush mount, and 1 that sort of a Scotty mount. And, it looked good out there. He sat it was sitting really high up on the water, which was really nice. He's skinny, not fat like me. And, it worked out really well, that Tamrac. So I always wondered about him, and it's a blow molded design. It's not a roto mold like mine. So that's why the difference in cost, and it's so much lighter. Oh my gosh. Just picking that thing up was super easy. So anyway, that was a short video, short little live, my experience from yesterday. And if you're in Oregon, buy one. You never know when you'll get asked for it when you don't have it. It's like a fishing license. I've been asked for a fishing license once in my life by ranger. Is that what they call them? Anyway, one time. I've only been asked for a fishing license, but I always carry one. So it was no big deal. I showed it to him. He was fine. And in California, Russell doesn't need a fishing license. He needs one here. Well, $10 though here. Pretty sweet for a kid. Although in California, you don't need to pay for a kid for a license. So, but anyway, that was my run-in with the sheriff yesterday. Second time with him. First time he saved me, and then he was just doing a safety check yesterday. So, next time I'll see him, I'll get a sticker, maybe a gold star. Who knows? So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday, and I hope you're catching stuff out there, because it's just, we have a beautiful day today. Today, this is sort of our family day, so at 2:00 we have a family game time. So we have the kids and us, and somebody picks a board game, and we play a board game. I won Monopoly for the first time in my life a couple of weeks ago. Never, ever in my whole life I've won Monopoly. So that was cool. I won Monopoly. And I'm lousy at Risk. I'm usually the first one dead. My country just gets obliterated. I don't know how to play it very well. So, but today's game day. And then stuff. It's family day. So anyway, take care, everybody. I will see you guys out on the water. And if you're ever in Klamath, email me. Bam. Always willing to go out fishing. You know me. except for Sundays. Sunday's my family day. So take care, everybody.